Hey, it's Eric from wanderwitheric.com. Today I'm in Pittsburg, New Hampshire, which is the northernmost town in the state of New Hampshire. If you just go that way a couple of miles, you're in Canada. We're not going to go to Canada today. We'll save that for some other time, perhaps. But I'm out here today in search of fall foliage, which I found in abundance on my way up here. And in just a moment, we'll go back in time and you can see where I came from and all the amazing foliage that I saw along the way. And then I'm going to head back home by a different route and probably see a lot more amazing foliage along the way. As usual, if you like what you see in today's video, please click the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Ring the bell to get notified whenever I post something new. Leave a comment, share it with your friends. Help my channel keep growing. Now that we got all that out of the way, let's go back in time to the beginning of the journey, and you can wander with me as I go on an autumn adventure. I set out from my home in Concord, New Hampshire on a foggy morning driving north on Interstate 93. I knew I was going to drive north, but beyond that I didn't really have a plan. I just kind of figured it out as I went along. After about a half hour of driving, it was beginning to clear up. The foliage here was nice, but it wasn't quite peaking yet. The mountain vistas were beginning to appear in front of me, and though they were still a long way off, I could tell that they were going to be beautiful when I got closer. Now we're talking. There's something about the mountains that always stirs my soul, especially when they're positively glowing with autumn color. Seeing these mountainsides covered in bright red made this trip totally worth it. It's one of nature's most amazing spectacles. This is what peak foliage looks like. I'm just going to let the camera roll a while as we travel through Franconia Notch. For my money, this is the most beautiful scenery anywhere in New Hampshire, maybe the entire northeastern United States, and it offers year-round outdoor recreation options. This pass through the White Mountains is flanked on the left by 4,080-foot Cannon Mountain, a popular ski resort in winter, and on the east by Mount Lafayette at 5,249 feet and adjacent peaks that form Franconia Ridge. Streams originating here flow north into the Connecticut River and south into the Merrimack. This was the home of the Old Man of the Mountain, a granite outcropping resembling a human face which sadly collapsed in 2003, but is still a popular symbol of the Granite State with a special place in the hearts of many residents. The road itself reaches an elevation of 1,950 feet and is one of the few places in the country where you can drive on a two-lane section of interstate highway. At this point, I'm going to exit right onto Highway 3 North. Driving through the pass takes you north of the Notches in local lingo, and into a region colloquially known as the North Country or Great North Woods. It feels like entering a different world. Everything looks and feels a little different. The climate is cooler here, moose outnumber humans, and the wilderness stretches almost unbroken north to the Canadian border. That's snow-capped Mount Washington in the distance, the highest peak in the Northeast at 6,288 feet and home to notoriously crazy weather. At the Twin Mountain Junction, after a moment of indecisiveness, I decided to keep going straight on Highway 3. This is the town of Whitefield, notable for the 1875 bandstand on the town square. At this point, the road descends into the Connecticut River Valley. I'm going to stay left here and go through the town of Lancaster. At this traffic circle, I'll take the first exit to proceed north. The Lancaster Fair, held here in the summer, has been entertaining the North Country for 150 years. The next town along the road is Northumberland. It's clear already that the foliage here is a little past its prime. There are more naked trees that have already lost their leaves, but it's still pretty nice. This little town is called Colebrook. Here it is, Pittsburg. This is the northernmost town in the state of New Hampshire and the largest town in New England by area. It's a mecca for hunting and fishing, as well as snowmobiles in the winter and ATVs in the summer. It was briefly an independent republic in the early 1800s due to a border dispute with Canada. Speaking of Canada, I had better turn around here or I'll wind up there. I didn't bring my passport. That was a long drive. I really have to use the restroom. Darn, locked. Luckily, the gas station across the street let me use theirs. After a short pit stop in Pittsburg, I was southbound again. I crossed the 45th parallel halfway between the equator and the North Pole. Back in Colebrook, I turned east on New Hampshire Route 26. This will take me through the tiny community of Dixville Notch, notable for being the first place in the U.S. to announce presidential election results. Town residents traditionally vote at midnight in the ballroom of the Balsam's Grand Resort Hotel, with the results declared only minutes later. The town is named after the mountain pass also called Dixville Notch, which divides the watershed of the Connecticut River flowing west and the Androscoggin flowing east. This little town is Errol. Here I'll turn right on Route 16 towards Berlin. All other roads lead to Maine. I love this stretch of road between Errol and Berlin. The Androscoggin River runs alongside the road and it's just beautiful, especially in the afternoon with the shadows of the trees stretching across the road. And here's Berlin. That's right, Berlin, not Berlin, like Germany. Residents started pronouncing it this way due to anti-German sentiment during the First World War. At about 10,000 people, Berlin is by far the biggest city in the North Country. Traditionally, logging and paper were the key industries here, but since the closing of the mills in the early 2000s, the biggest employers are the state and federal correctional facilities located here. Here in the town of Gorham, I'm turning to continue south on New Hampshire Route 16. This is another beautiful stretch of road that passes the eastern slope of Mount Washington. I'm passing right by the entrance to the auto road up the mountain, but at $40 admission, I'd rather not. We're also getting back into the peak foliage. If you can catch the height of it in the White Mountains, it's truly breathtaking. Mission success. That was a long drive. I got on the road at about 10 o'clock this morning. It's now 5:30. So you do the math. But we saw a lot of amazing fall foliage. I hope you enjoyed that. And covered a lot of miles. Went all the way up almost to the Canadian border. So you guys saw a lot of New Hampshire today. And now, what better way to cap off a great day than a visit to Fun Spot, which I just happened to be passing by. Anyhow, as usual, I hope you enjoyed wandering with Eric today. I hope you'll wander with me again next time. Between now and then, I hope you remember to keep exploring.